Hey guys, and welcome to the 3D Animation Hub. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Brian, and I'm a 3D animator, as the title suggests. Now, if you guys haven't kept up with Astartes, you're missing out. I'm gonna have the links down below to the cinematic we're about to watch. Go watch the first 5 episodes, the first 4 episodes. This will be the 5th one. Yeah, this is Brian. This is the future Brian in the editing stage. I realized I've been mispronouncing the name from the very beginning, so please don't kill me. Turns out I added an extra R in there for some reason. Anyways, let's get back into the video. Now, I'm not too familiar with the lore, so I won't be analyzing that, but as an animator, I'll be looking at it from a more technical point of view. And if you guys aren't familiar with my reactions, I first react to the cinematic, and then later we take it to Sync Sketch and go through some of the animations that we saw. Now with all that out of the way, and while I still got my hair, let's jump into this week's video. Just once again, guys, if you haven't watched this, if you haven't heard of this, I'll have the links down below. Go watch this shit. It's so good. And now, if I'm not mistaken, I think a single person makes this, like everything, which is just mind-boggling. Now, I'm not sure if it's a team, but from what I heard, I could be wrong. From what I heard, it's just a single person making this. For those of you who aren't in this field, it is immense work to make something like this long at this quality in such a short period of time. Like, his videos are months apart, and that may seem like a lot, but for the scale of the stuff that he's getting done, it's just mind-boggling. I don't understand how he's doing any of this. So regardless of that, let's jump in. I've been waiting for this episode for a while, for months. All right, let's watch this. So this is just showing the previous episodes. Spoiler. I was just watching all of it before watching this. This is just showing what happens so far. And just the quality is just insane. I think they're in the spaceship right now. So the last thing that happened was they were getting close to this tank to open up. This tanker. I guess they got through, they got in. Just the rendering just looks amazing. Oh, that's so cool. So they're guarding this dude while he's he's connected to the sphere. No idea what the sphere is, but it's just admiring the lighting and the texturing of these characters. So these are the Space Marines, and these are the guys we've been following in the past 4 episodes. Okay. Oh man, this is like film quality. I love this. Oh shit. What's this? Another thing you guys will notice is that there's no one talks. There's no voice communication. It's all just atmosphere sounds and thrill, and it's just he tells this story just through that, and it's amazing. Now look at this. Okay, they're closing in on this door. Oh shit. Okay, so that thing definitely don't want them to get close. Space Marines, baby! I don't give a shit. Oh my god. A lot of constraints. A lot of constraints. We'll talk about that. That's good. Take turns. Stab the poor circle or sphere. Why? It wasn't to kill it. Were they trying to drain its power or something? Oh, I guess this is their ship. They're on the enemy ship, and then this is their ship. And I guess this guy is on their ship trying to connect to the sphere through the things that connected into that sphere. I don't know. Oh, that's so sick. He says talking to the sphere. Oh. See, no words, just hand gestures. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. I guess his mind broke trying to break into the sphere. Oh, oh no. Oh, it's corrupting these guys too. What's happening? Did nothing. They dead? Oh, oh. Oh shit. I have no idea what's happening at this point. I'm just enjoying the visuals. Okay, so you got transported to somewhere. Ew. Oh. Disgusting. Oh shit. He's a hard ass. He's got his arm ripped off and he's just fine with it. That's crazy. Oh my god. Just creating that. Just that one scene. That was amazing. So again, if you guys haven't seen the other 4 episodes, what are you doing? Go subscribe, go watch them. Oh my god. And please, for the love of God, support this man. This is insane. Alright, okay. Before I go too ooey gooey over this, let's hop into Sync Sketch and let's tear this shit down. Alright, super not animation related, but I just want to say I love this shot right here. Not this, well this, but this right here. But they just, oh my god, just the framing of that is so good. Look at that. Got the 5 characters, perfectly symmetrical, and then this. Ah, that's so good. Okay, let's jump to animations. So the first thing we can talk about is the constraints that happen here. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with constraints is where you have where you can have an object attached to your arm, the motion of your arm actually translates to the object you're holding. So if your arm rotates this way, the object inside your hand rotates with your arm, and you don't have to animate it with the arm moving. So your arm just controls whatever it's holding, or vice versa. You can have an object control your arm. In this case, I believe what we have is this Space Marine's hand controlling this object right here. So in this case, this hand is the parent, and this little stabby thing is the child. So this is controlling the child. But what happened here is the parent is no longer the parent. So this sort of gets discontinued, the constraints that it once had, and now the object is parented to this hand. So now this hand is controlling the object. So what happens is, if this hand is the parent, it relinquishes here. So it's not a parent anymore, and this isn't driven by this hand anymore. So this gets released, but then once this closes, this is now the new parent. And there's a lot of that happening here. So we have, again, it happens again. So this is the parent. This is being constrained by this hand. It gets released. And it keeps cutting. Oh my god, I'm trying to catch it for you guys. There you go. So yeah, so this is the parent. Once we get to here, this becomes the parent, and this has no more effect on the object. So here we have another constraint situation, but it's a little bit different. So before we had the hand control the object, so we had the movement of the hand control the movement of the object. Now what happens here is that for the stab, if you guys pay attention, the action is actually driven by the object. So what's going on here is that now the object is the parent, and both these hands are being controlled by the object. The movement, the object is actually, yes, if I move the object, my hands move. I move it up, my hands move up with it. So what's happening here is the object's controlling both hands. It's driving the action. You can tell because now what happens is the object is planted, so it's not moving, and so the arms, the hands aren't moving, but the rest of his body is moving. So his body is just showing the force. So to show that force, the object is keeping the hands still, but then the body's moving around that, and that's how you can tell that the object is controlling the hands and not the other way around. I ramble a lot. Holy shit. I'm gonna edit this part out. I ramble a little too much. Moving on. Same thing here. Same thing here. Ooh, this is pretty cool. So this guy says, "Go, run, tell the message," and that guy runs. But the run is actually really, really nicely done. Now, my dumbass chose the episode that has the least amount of animations. Every single episode before this has like crazy amounts of animations of fighting and like shooting and stabbing, and this one's all just this is all we got. This is all we got to work with. But I just found this turn and run really cool because we did just make a tutorial on how to make it turn and walk. This is just a turn and run, and he's actually turning backwards. So what's happening is he's pre-anticipating running away or running that way to notify whoever, and what happens is he starts shifting his weight into this leg, onto this leg, and so he lifts up this foot, his body starts rotating, he starts rotating, and then he plants his foot down, and now that foot's over there, and then he just books it, and he kind of just like leaps out of there. If you guys actually go frame by frame, he sort of just launches that way and just continues going that way. That's pretty cool. Oh, I thought he dropped his gun at first, but he's just attaching it to his leg. So you guys pay attention here. Because he let goes, but then the gun's actually following him. So I guess there's like a magnetic gun holder there for him. That's pretty cool. And this is probably going to be the last thing we're going to talk about, just because there isn't too much actual animation in this cinematic. But just another thing I noticed is that, so what happens is this thing blows up, and our character here to the right kind of hears it and is shocked. And so he wants to figure out what's going on. Now, watch how he turns, and we'll talk about it. So this thing blows up, and you know, there's a delay in his reaction because he has to process what just happened. And then he quickly turns around to see what that was. Now, there's different kinds of turns, and we kind of talked about this in our last analysis. There are turns where you shift your body first and then you move your head. That's when you want to tell someone something, you already know what you're going to say. Let's say, for example, you want to tell someone, "Yeah, I already knew that." So you just turn around and you say, "Yeah, I already knew that." In this case, he's surprised and he wants to figure out what's happening, and he's kind of concerned really. The way he turns is a little bit different than how you would normally turn, which, you know, there's two types of ways you turn. One is you turn your body first, then your head. So that's when you already know what you want to talk about. But in this case, he's surprised. He wants to figure out what's happening, what's going on. So his head, for 3 frames, his head turns first, and then what happens is his body starts rotating to catch up to his head. So his head is completely leading the action because he's like, what was that? And so his head moves, then his body rotates to try and catch up to the head. And of course, it just settles in at this point. It just, you know, the head's kind of staying stationary, but then the body's just rotating slowly. So it's like, as you guys saw, that was my natural reaction to me turning my head first, then my body. And so just the animation is very, very well done. Again, if this was one person doing this, I will eat my boot. Like, this is, I made a 2-minute short film for school back 3 years ago, and so it took months, guys. It took several months for like 2 minutes, and it's nowhere near this quality. This is insanity. So, anyways, but yeah, so there wasn't too much animation in this, unfortunately. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction/analysis. Hope you're all staying safe and quarantining. And with all that out of the way, happy animating. I will see you guys in the next video.